11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
Or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
Alright. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is January the 19th. It is the last day for freedom of anything. It's especially bad for me, the white male. Say goodbye to my rights. It goes all over the freaking political system that was America's Constitution. It's all over. Well, it was nice knowing everybody. So I hope we make it to the next level. I hope somebody out there helps us survive another day at a time here, because I think everything's going to end. But that's just me. I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist. Welcome to the show, everybody. Seriously. It's all over. Everything. In America. It is. Is it over? Is it done? is never gonna be the same again. Hey, Mario, hey. So I saw a super chat earlier from Stephen Carney. $5 super chat. He say, hey brother, I'm loving this GoFund family and I really feel part of it. So thank you for making me feel so welcome from the UK. As always. Thank you very much for the super chat. Very nice. Thank you very much. That was generous, right? Even before the show started. That good. All over with the $5. Thank you very much. It's true, though. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is in America, things are going to get worse before they get better. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, welcome to the show. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Not going to be a long show. No. I'm only going to do an hour. Let me tell you why. It doesn't matter. We're just doing an hour. Third Phase has a video coming out at the top of the hour, and I know everybody from here would leave to go watch this incredible thing, so I'm going to leave with you. So, let's get to work really quick. No roll call. I'm thinking of a way to incorporate it back into the show. I'm thinking of doing roll call, but only doing the top, 20 people. I don't know what to do. I can't keep doing it forever. Nonetheless, I want to get started with tonight's show. Coincidences planned, circumstances that feel accidental. We've all have had them. I have some great, interesting coincidences that, there's coincidences that happen right away, and then there's coincidences that are life-changing. You know what I mean? Like, if all these events didn't happen, there's no way I would be here doing what I'm doing now. I'm giving you an example. It's really, look, I don't know if we're part of some construct, some planned matrix reality, someone's thoughts, but all I know is the Out There channel is still being, and I'm going to say it right here. The guy fell asleep on his show. It's the funniest thing. I've got it. You've got to hear it. It's unbelievable. The guy fell asleep and snored for 25, 35 minutes. Yeah. Fell asleep, snored on his own show. That's how boring
to some
it
US
is. This is it. I've got it. Just the audio. He's playing my show 30 minutes at a time on his channel. Now, you would say, oh, well, Rich, why would you allow something like that to happen? Hey, if the guy's using it fair use and he's not being that much of a jerk, who am I to tell this guy he can't talk shit about me? So I'm going to talk a little shit about her. Because Paula has, 2,400 subscribers, been stuck there for a whole year. The show is so bad. It is so unbelievably bad. It is probably the worst show I've ever heard. And I've heard quite a few. But this has got to be brought up in our little world here, because this guy is on BitChute, which I've just joined. And I will probably do something, because there's video where he's telling people I'm a pedophile, and telling people that I hoax stuff. Literally going crazy on BitChute. It's like it used to be on YouTube. But to say that about me, I cannot take sitting down. So I give one warning for him to take the stuff down. And I'm doing that now because I know he listens to every show. Because his show is our show here. This is all he has. I would feel awful to see this guy lose everything because he's calling me pedophile and other things. Racist. That I'm mean. I mean, this guy's worse than anybody I've seen. I've never done any of those things that he's doing. And I'm not letting it get to me. It doesn't. The only reason I found out about it, it was just by accident. I saw it. I saw somebody laughing at him on Twitter, and I scooped up the link. And here he is sleeping on his show. His show's that boring. He fell asleep on his own show.
Prototype? The answer I got back was extraordinary. The Americans had been having their own sightings of these large, triangular-shaped UFOs, and wanted to know if the RAF might have such a craft, capable of moving from a virtual hover to speeds of several thousand mph in an instant. We wish we had. The interesting thing about this was that somebody in the US was still clearly taking an interest in UFOs, despite the apparent disengagement from the subject.
Not only do we hear him snoring, pretty soon he starts, I think, moving. Something's going on. It's pretty serious. He might have a bad health problem. Maybe he has sleep apnea. He's got some sort of apnea.
In 1969 with the closing down of Project Blue Book. Sadly, a letter to the U.S. Embassy about Aurora was the only document missing from the case file released to Steele Spida following their FOIA request for documents relating to the March 1993 UFO sightings. Jodrell Bank Observatory. Intriguingly, even the cluster of 1:10 a.m. sightings might not all be explained by the Cosmos 2238 reentry.
Well, there's more. It goes on for half an hour. And the thing is, his co-host, dumber. No. The co-host is dumb. Paula's dumber. Doesn't say anything. He does. Oh, I see what happened. He fell asleep. They both fell asleep at the same time is what happened. Oh my God, that's what happened. Is there more snoring? There's a lot more. Of course there is.
The skeptics were torpedoed by Professor Ian Morrison, director of the Jodrell Bank Observatory, and hardly a believer in UFOs, who in speaking about these sightings on the British UFO Mystery said sometimes people see a pattern of lights that stay pretty much in formation for maybe several minutes at a time, and to be honest, I don't believe that can be the...
This is the guy who's telling everybody I'm whatever. That stuff can't be put up with and won't be, but just wanted to let you know that that's how bad that show is. And he's been stuck at the same subscribers for a year, 2420. We passed by him like a month ago. All right. I don't want you guys to forget this. Okay. Don't forget.
Dulce.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What was that? What did we just hear?
Dulce.
Ah, dulce. All right. That's not funny at all. Next, we're moving right along here. Okay. Now that's for later. Our good friend Alien Addict had Ray Hernandez on. He talks about what Edgar Mitchell knew about UFOs, and with permission granted, I'm going to play a few minutes because this is really good. An Alien Addict allows us, and he has permission to play our videos when one is this good, and this one is. So I will play a little bit of Alien Addict for you, because we don't get to hear enough Alien Addict, I believe.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
the sixth man to walk on the moon, PhD from MIT in aeronautical engineering.
Yeah.
He was there at MIT when they were building the lunar module, the lunar lander. Okay, so when Apollo 13 had its problems, Edgar told me that he was 3 people in that movie with Tom Hanks, because he had been there while they were constructing the lunar module at MIT, and he'd be learning from them in case later on there was something that went wrong with it, and that's actually what happened in Apollo 13. And Edgar had on his wall the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest award that a civilian can earn. And this was after Edgar had retired from the military, from the Navy. Richard Nixon, the U.S. president at that time, gave him that award. Okay, but more importantly for Edgar, after he came back from the moon, he had a paranormal experience out in space. Okay, it's called a samadhi experience, where all of a sudden he had like universal knowledge that we're all interrelated. You know, there's no separateness.
Edgar Mitchell had this experience while out in space. Did you hear what he just said? That's really unbelievable.
Experience, where all of a sudden he had like universal knowledge that we're all interrelated. You know?
How's that even possible? See, this is what's fascinating about space. And maybe this is what the Galactic Federation is talking about. We're not ready to meet them because we have not gotten that far advanced with our spirituality and our presence in space. I think it's possible that space, it's not water. Space is water. Can you imagine if space is really water? That's why they have to wear those big, oh my God, can you imagine if that's true? That's why they have to wear the spacesuits. Because they're not in space. They're in water. That would be weird. And Earth is a bubble. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Earth is a bubble? Well, let's hear what the rest of this. I didn't mean to go off on that. Well, I did, but.
No, there's no separateness. And he was like, you know, and all, it came, and then like after a minute or so, it just disappeared. And he was like, what the hell was that, you know? And so when he came back, he wanted to learn what had happened to him.
It's almost as if he had a beam of collective consciousness from whatever is out there in space. Or maybe it was the whoever's on the moon, quote unquote aliens, sending him that information, and he wanted to know about it.
And he learned from a professor of religion that is called a samadhi experience, and that's written in the Indian text, the Vedic text.
Yeah, he said that this has happened to other astronauts as well.
Correct.
They've not spoke about it, but
yeah,
this has happened to other astronauts.
Oh, yeah. He told me that many of the U.S. astronauts and cosmonauts have had paranormal experiences in space. He told me tons of details because I eventually was at his house over 20 different times. And so anyway, so I give him a call. Oh, what I was wanting to say, what Edgar should be recognized more than anything else was that he had started the Institute for Noetic Sciences. And this is now the world's leading academic research institute on the psi phenomena, okay, commonly known as ESP, okay, and also they dabble a little bit with the paranormal channeling and other aspects of the paranormal. So that's the Institute for Noetic Sciences, major academic research institute. And so I give Edgar a call like 4 hours later because I was shit scared, to give him a call. I knew who he was, right? So he goes, Ray, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, well, I'm going to go to work. He says, can you take some time off tomorrow and come and see me? And I said, sure. He says, I live in Lake Worth, Florida, which is like 90-minute drive. He says, you could take the turnpike, take the exit, and it was like, 90 minutes from where I lived. And he says, how about tomorrow at 10 o'clock? So here I was, a little bit more than 48 hours after that initial experience. And I was at the home of Dr. Edgar Mitchell. And I was there for a total of 6 hours. and he told me everything about his life. He just went into so many details. You tell me about Edgar, and I'll tell you. Okay, his parents owned 2 stores in Roswell. Okay, Nevada. One the northern end of town, one on the southern end of town. These were agricultural stores, supply stores. Okay, he was there with the Roswell crash. He was a senior in high school. He had, I think it was June, maybe it was. He had just graduated, and he was on his way to go to Carnegie Mellon University. Okay, he learned how to fly airplanes as a teenager because he worked for the local airport, and he was paid in flight lessons instead of money. Okay,
wow.
He had was part of Chuck Yeager's test pilots. Okay. I mean, everything he told me, he showed me the pictures of his mother that she drew of their house in Roswell, the living room, that old black and white TV, and he was telling me all about it. And he just went on and on about his life. He told me tons of experiences as a national astronaut, tons of stuff. And so then after like hours had passed by, then he said, Ray, tell me about your experience. And I realized later on that he was doing that was to make me feel comfortable. It's like he opened himself up totally. And then I opened up myself totally. And when I was telling him all this stuff, he didn't even blink an eye. I found out later that he has spoken with hundreds of experiencers. Okay. But that's a part of Edgar that no one knew about. They knew the UFO Edgar that spoke publicly about UFOs, and Roswell and things like that. But they didn't know Edgar that had been working with contactees, over many years. So at the end of it all, Edgar, after he listened to me, heard my story, what had happened to me, all my experience, he says, look, Ray, you were given a mandate, specific instructions of what you need to do. And he says, Rudy and I, this is Dr. Rudy Shields, already discussed it, and we will be your scientific advisors. And he says, as a matter of fact, I also have a whole large group of PhDs, most of them are physicists, and they can come and help us. They will also join us as advisors, right? And I didn't make the connection, like me given a mission to do, and it was Edgar that had suggested that, we need to form an organization with all of our advisors, and let's put our heads together as to, what they told you to do, and we could, work this out. I said, but Edgar, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. And he goes, don't worry, you'll figure it out. It always happens that way. And so when I left his house, I said, this man's batshit crazy, I said, what the fuck is he talking about? And Rudy, another crazy, MF, and I'm like, what the fuck, So anyway, I give Mary Rodwell a call, let her know what had just happened, right? And she was like, this is unbelievable, Ray, And so she knew about Rudy because she had given the information to Rudy. But what had happened is that she had sent me an email saying, look, Ray, I gave Rudy your information. Is it okay for him to call you, And what happened was that Rudy jumped the gun, and he called me before I had gotten back to Mary. Yeah, Mary, it's okay, tell him to call me, And so that's how all this thing started, okay? So like about a few days later, this was that, and when I was at Edgar's house, I think it was like a Wednesday. That initial experience was on a Monday. Rudy called me on Tuesday. That Saturday morning, it was only a few days later, I woke up. In my head was exactly what I needed to do. Okay? Exactly, like in detailed, what I needed to do. So I went to the computer, I typed it all up, and what it was a research methodology of how do you go about doing the world's first academic research study of UFO contact experiencers. Okay? Because what had happened was that, as I told you before, I have an academic background. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when these things were happening to me, I said, let me try to research what has been written about it academically. Okay. And I couldn't find anything. Certainly there was only 2 very small statistical studies. Okay. And I will.
Wow, that's just crazy. And I don't know, some of you who are able to read the chat, I don't know if you're driving or just not watching. Third Phase of Moon, they were the last to interview Edgar Mitchell. He passed away a few days later. Edgar Mitchell told them that he flew over Area 51 and said that they do have aliens and UFOs at the base, or Area 51 over there. That's just nuts. It's so odd that he's the last one and then dies a few days later. My God, what an amazing man, though. Yeah, he has done a lot more than I thought he did. That's for sure. And why am I not on screen? See, the whole time I should have been. Now I gotta leave.
Mention them. They were tiny. One had 50 people, another one had 85 people. Okay, so there was literally nothing. There was a book by Dr. John Mack titled Passport to the Cosmos. Dr. John Mack was a professor at Harvard University, a professor of psychiatry.
He's awesome.
And that's how Rudy got involved, because Dr. John Mack asked him one time, he says, Rudy, you that study astrophysics, I'm having all these people that are telling me, look, Dr. Mack, I was brought to another reality, another multiverse, another dimension, you know? So he goes to Rudy and says, Rudy, is it true that exists such a thing as other dimensions? Is physics talking about that? And Rudy said, yes. You know, as a matter of fact, yes. Okay, that there's these various theories of the multiverse. And so that brought a relationship between Dr. John Mack and Rudy. And then where they were trying to kick Dr. John Mack out of Harvard University because he had published a book on UFO contact experiencers, they tried to kick him out of Harvard. And he was a tenured professor. He had also won the Pulitzer Prize. I mean, this is one of the top prizes in literature. Okay,
recorded. So
this is a very influential man. Okay, highly respected, a full professor of psychiatry at Harvard, at the Harvard Medical School, not even Harvard University, the Harvard Medical School. And so during this inquisition, Rudy testified before this board that yes, there is such a thing as a multiverse, that yes, there are probably, non-human intelligence out there, and he explained that we're finding these exoplanets, these new planets, every day now, and basically educated these folks that, look, physics is talking about these things.
Wow. You can catch the rest of that. I played half of it just over. I got lost in that conversation. I was just amazed at what he was saying. So there's multiverses. That's, we know. Look, I got to show you. Third phase is coming up right after tonight. After this show tonight, I'm trying to speak. And we're talking about this. If you can see it. No. Yes. Possible Stargate. And a map. That is, well, you're just going to have to. That's why I'm leaving in 32 minutes. You understand now? Oh my God, this is amazing. A couple of days ago, what did we talk about? That's right, class, you're right. Secret tunnels. It's amazing. For aliens. Diagnostic facility. I memorized it all. It's all coming back to me now. And now this Stargate potential. Oh my God! And I forgot. I can't say anything, but there may. I don't know if that's gonna happen tonight, but something special. Another story is gonna be. It's just one after the other this year. Already in 2021, it's taken off like I've never seen it before. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Yeah, it's not disclosure. Well, so it's science, man. It's technology. If we could have technology that could zip us by putting, just like the movie Stargate, TV series, just plug in the coordinates and it activates these Tesla-looking things, or I like to call them joysticks. That's what it looks like. And not from the stand-ups, from the sit-down, the table version. Oh, you're not even watching. Turn it on. Schmoho. There's nothing there. I can't see it. I know. This guy's an idiot. I know. Oh, he really is. I know. That's coming up right after the show. All right, so let's move up a little bit. What else we got going on tonight? Coincidences? We're almost going to talk about that here in a moment. Ow. NASA just detected a massive anomaly that's being monitored close to our sun. Have you heard this one? Yeah, it's making the rounds on the tubes from Unexplained Mysteries. Check it out.
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration have made some incredible discoveries in recent years. They've helped us to better understand the cosmos and have insights currently orbiting around our sun, and that gives researchers a chance to monitor the sun's behavior. Interestingly though, in recent years people have managed to snap some interesting objects close to our sun, leaving them confused as to what these huge objects could be. Over a project, the solar heliocentric whatever this object is, it must be interested in our sun, as it can be seen close to it every couple of weeks or so. This has only caused people to speculate about what forward the idea that it may have been leaving our sun, while others who have studied these objects have said they just hover around it, and they can be seen leaving the air at high speeds. One UFO researcher called Scott C. Waring was one of the first to post the images, and he believes that this large cube could possibly be a...
What's that? Oh no. He fell asleep again. Yeah. The Out There channel's sleeping. Fell asleep. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm trying to pull it up, but for some reason nothing wants to work. That's just the way it is.
Breakup of space junk or anything else.
Here's the show.
Those things are short-lived and they all leave streaks,
yep,
and the relative positions may well change as they travel. Conclusion. Given the mods no
Conclusion. Oh my God, that is so funny to me. Oh, that is just classic Paula. She's funny. Falling asleep on her show like that? Man, she sounds like a little poodle snoring. You know, one of those little cute, the way they cut their hair. Looks like they're wearing a helmet. All right. Here's a UFO sighting from UFOs Exposed. Wait, didn't we talk? No, it's from the 16th. Oh, I looked at it, and I didn't think it fit reality because I think it's fake. Hey, you want to take a look? All right. What do you see? We just saw one yesterday that was supposedly spinning in place, remember? What's weird about this? Okay, you see this object? Then you got this right here. A triangular shape. Now I sound like Jesus Marion. I sound like Mr. MBB333. We've got, he's not British. Why am I talking British already? Hello? I just heard somebody in my headset. Huh. I'm losing it. So the title of this is These Fakes, ... Videos are becoming worryingly near perfect. Oh, yeah, down here, fakes and stuff. So, is that not a real sighting, is what he's saying? See, this is what I don't understand. By the way, I can't oh, Jesus. You know, maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow when we have more time. Yeah, it's about the last Mary Hall video that we played. Third phase of moon had. Somebody said that they're icebergs and that this is snow. It is stupid. I don't see how, but I could show you. Oh, by the way, Blake, yeah, you're on here. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, you can't play this. How does he play it? Oh, it is not monetized. Well, that ruins everything. I don't understand, though. That's the whole thing. Let me repurpose here. This is the same footage in the same day of Worldview site. All right. Well, I'll show you tomorrow. We don't have time tonight. Yeah, baby. That's coming up in 23 minutes. This incredible find with a Starlink Stargate map. A map. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to say. So, Tesla Autopilot, this is amazing. Recorded a invisible man in an empty cemetery. Huh? Wait, what? That makes sense because he's invisible. The cemetery looks empty. Get it? Is this a real video? Oh, it's a real video. At this point, the system indicates that a silhouette is standing next to the car. Then the man, quote unquote, moved away from the car and disappeared. Oh, it's a ghost. Huh. Oh, well, I'm stupid. I've said it all along. Dumb. But not really, stupid in a smart kind of ash. Huh. Oh, wow. So it's seeing a man. No. No, this is a glitch. Oh, but it's at a cemetery. Oh, that's true. Oh, this is crazy. That's what they do. They pick up the human body. It's got a heat and infrared and night vision. Even has 20 optical zoom at 100 megapixels. Plays your favorite song. And it's an alarm clock. It'll make you eggs. It can cook eggs under the hood. And what's that? Oh, I can't say that on air. But imagine. This thing does it all. It'll massage you. It'll even slice you up into little baby bits. But it sees this person. All right, we get it, Charlie. Yeah. We get it. Now, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced by that. All because it's not, I thought it was going to show us the image of a person, not just that it's showing an icon image of a person, detecting a person. No, I'm not interested in that. That's like looking at radar. Yeah, I see a dot on the screen, but I'm not looking at the real object. It's the same thing. Bull. So it's just another tease. All right. These coincidences, I'm telling you, I'll tell you a quick story that happened to me that got me where I am. And I've told the story 1,000 times. All right, once before, but it's a good story. Hold on. Yeah, it's coming up. What is that right here? Yep. Coming up. Yep. It's unbelievable. Oh, the map. Look at what. You'll see. You'll see. Zach for a blue wrench? Anybody else want to nominate somebody for a wrench tonight? I'm giving out a wrench. Good one, Renee. Yeah, you're right. Zach's up there. I thought about it. The thing with wrenches, everybody gets one. They're not special if you could just give them out haphazardly. You understand? Now, a wrench doesn't give you the right just to get rid of somebody. You gotta respect the wrench. Can you respect the wrench? Who should we nominate? Anybody else want a shot at this? No? Zach doesn't want one, he said. He's a man. He's turning down the wrench. He's turning the wrench down. Where is Gary Maureen Green? Yeah. Oh my God. I was just thinking of Maureen Green today when I was putting out the Twitter ads. And I don't send them to her anymore because, well, she stopped coming. I see her somewhere else. I don't want to say. Yeah, I'm playing that game tonight. It's just weird. I understand I could be grating on you. I understand, you know, you think it's going to change. Like, all right, tonight, all right, we talked about some good things. He made some good points, bad points. But after a while, you're going to be like, because this is what happens. It happens to everybody. You get tired of hearing the same message. I like to think that I could change it up, but I can't change my voice. You do get, it's human nature. You're going to get tired of Goof On. And then you'll go somewhere else. And then you'll come back every now and then, but you really don't care as much as you used to because you think you heard it all. And most likely you have. I hope not. There's shows I listen to. I've been listening to them for years. I love them. Never get tired of listening to Tucker Carlson. I don't know what it is, him and Sean Hannity. I kind of like it. Oh, I listen to other people too. I can't think of his name on NBC. Oh my God. Really good. I like hearing both sides of the story. But you have to admit, in our field, Tucker Carlson gets the nod because he really focuses in on the UFOs. All right, my coincidence story, and I want to let you know this. There's no way in hell this incident couldn't have happened at any other time in my life. It is the only time it could have happened that got me here in ufology, not behind the microphone. This wasn't even part of the plan. It wasn't even a thought to do what I'm doing now. But the coincidence was this. Up until I was 34, 35, I was single, right? Pretty single. And I'm trying to think how I could word it. All right. So I was single. I wasn't settled down. My job took me a lot of different places, did a lot of different things, all hours, until I got married or met my wife. Well, we're divorced now, but back then, we'd been divorced for 11 years. So when I met her, we connected and settled down, and then we lived together after 6 months. That was it. Or was it a year? 6 months? Okay, I think it's 6 months. 6 months. And then we got married. So at this point, I went from being single to finding somebody. So being single means I wasn't looking at the sky. I was having a lot of fun, working out, whatever. You know what I mean? It was just being a single dude, the prime of your life, pretty much. I didn't have time to look at the sky, nor did I care. However, I did have a couple of sightings during these times. 2 sightings, and they were both the same object. So I think 300 miles apart. And then I went to business. I went to Yuma for business, and on the way there, after an hour of driving, it was a 3.5-hour drive. After an hour, I would see an object over the northern mountains, and it would stay there 15, 20 minutes until it was out of my vision, and I really wasn't looking there. So I'm not going to drive like this. I tried. You just can't. So I had a friend who came with me because I kept telling him, every time I go out to Yuma, I see this UFO. I was even into it. Yeah, when was that? 37, I believe. 2002. No. No. Because it was before. It was 1994, I believe that was. And I used to see these UFOs go into Yuma. And we saw one on the way back. All right, anyway, so had a couple of sightings, not really investigating, met my wife, settled down, got a dog. She kept saying, I always wanted a dog. I never had a dog my whole life. I always lived in an apartment on the 17th floor in Manhattan. They didn't allow pets. And I go, okay, I'm going to get her a dog, I thought. So weeks go by, and I get a call from my mother, and she says, they're selling dogs. The ones that are, the ones that are on TV that do the tricks, she says. I go, I guess so. I go, you mean Frazier's dog? Yeah. And I go, oh, yeah, those are good dogs. So I didn't choose Angus. Angus chose me. COVID. Now, I know you're going to say, no. You think it because because he was a puppy, he was excited, there was somebody there, dogs are like that. No, that's not how it went down. And that's why I chose him, because he chose me. I was looking at another dog, and I was like, oh my God, this dog's so damn cute. No, I'm holding this dog, and the guy who's selling him said, there should be, I go, how many you got? He goes, 4. And I said, there's only 3, and he goes, there's one under the seat. So I put the other dog down, and it goes underneath, and out pops a little head, and it was Angus, and he literally jumped on me. It was pretty cool. And I said, I'm taking this one. And that got Angus. Now, you want to talk about coincidences? Here's the best one of all. The night I got Angus was April 15th, tax day. 10 o'clock that night, my wife and I go outside. We never done this before at 10 o'clock at night. But we walked the dog. We went in the backyard. And we laid down on the chaise lounges and looked up at the stars. And she saw something and said, oh my God, I just saw something really strange. And then we both saw it. It was an object, a couple of them. There was 2 at all times, but it looked like there was 3, but one was disappearing at one point, and then one went this way and one went this way. One went north, one went east. And I'm thinking, maybe it was fireworks. it looked like it was in space, and I'm thinking, wow, that was really weird. So the next night, go outside at exactly the same time and saw it again. And how often does that happen? Not often. As a matter of fact, that is the only time that I've ever had seen something in consecutive nights. I've never experienced that. Some people do, I never have. That was the only time. So, and I've captured 5 times 3 points of light. They could be satellites. I'm not saying they're not, but you catch something 5 times and it forms a triangle, of course, because it's 3. I don't know, I was going somewhere with that. But anyway, then when you get these dogs, they don't have their spots yet. Their spots come up when they get older. Well, Angus's spots came in. I didn't notice it. My wife didn't notice it. My mother-in-law noticed it. She goes, "Oh, look at the spots on the back of him. He's got like a constellation or something." And I go, "Get out of here." I looked at him. I go, "Holy shit, that looks like the Big Dipper." And he did. He had the picture. The dots were on his back, and they formed the Big Dipper. It was just missing one star, that the one at the very, very front that goes down off the dip. It was probably underneath his armpit or something. I don't know. But it resonated that way with us. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. And I was going out that second night when I saw those UFOs again. I went online, here's the next coincidence, and met Jeff Willis, who got back to me from UFOs over Phoenix. I wanted to see if anybody saw anything and reported it. Nobody did. And Jeff got back to me and he says, "Oh, so you're seeing some stuff at night? Well, why don't you try seeing them in the daytime?" I'm like, "What, are you kidding me? The daytime?" Yeah. And then he told me some things, and I opted to do things my way, and captured 2 months after that conversation, the first triangle. Caught some singular objects, but nothing you could say, you know what it is. It's just a ball of light, which is the reason I was in the movie Fast Walkers in 2005, because of these super fast objects I was catching, which aren't satellites. I've got lots of those on video, these fast walkers. These guys were really impressed. All right, so before I got Angus, it started with me getting LASIK surgery for my eyes. Do you see how everything came together? I got my life stable. I got the dog with the constellation on his back. Weird. And he was with me every single time except for once, not twice, that I've seen something, which is pretty cool. Right? So you got those 2 things. The third thing you could say was the LASIK surgery, so I could see the UFOs. Don't you think that's weird? I said we got settled down, got married. Yeah. So all those things, and not only that, I matured a lot. And I guess a lot of things happen, when you get into your mid to late 30s. You start growing up, really. For men, most men anyway, I think. We're 5 to 10 years behind women on a lot of emotional, without, going crazy. They seem to be even keel more than we are. In this field, I think women are better critical thinkers than men. See, the thing with men, they're always looking to impress their friends. This my dick is bigger than your dick shit. So they always think of ways to like, wow, what kind of story can I use to say I saw a UFO, and I could have some average video, which nobody could really see anything, but because of the story, I could pass it off. You know, a lot of that shit goes on with men. It's a predominantly, 97% male. That is just wrong on every level. That is just wrong. It's got to be 95. I think it's 95% male. Hey, it used to be 98, man. So, then I got fined, and then I had a job. The other coincidence that I only had to work a couple hours a day. You know what I mean? So I didn't have to work 10, 12-hour days. I was able to do what I want, and I wound up doing exactly what I wanted to do. And the only way I could have done that is with all of these things lining up the way they did. You just can't put me out there when I'm 33 years old and say, go be a skywatcher, do what you're doing now. Not now, but back in 2004. There's no way I could have done it. So I can't, see, I call that a slow coincidence. I like coincidences more that are quicker, that you realize them as it happens, not this slow burn, and then you look back on your life and say, oh yeah, if that didn't happen. But that event took weeks for, to you to get married or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not like somebody calls you up, you get in an argument, you make up real quick, you hang up the phone, you run out, you leave the house, you pull up on an accident. If that phone call didn't happen, that would be me at the intersection, and my car would be busted up. Is that a coincidence? I don't know if that's a coincidence. What is a coincidence? I think we have the definition. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, here it is. A coincidence is a remarkable occurrence of events or circumstances that have no apparent casual connection with one another. The perception of remarkable coincidences may lead to supernatural, occult, or paranormal claims. Yeah, I guess I did. I did have a coincidence. All right. It's pretty amazing, though, what a coincidence really is. Telling you. The thing about coincidences is that are they planned? Because I tell you what, to have 8 or 9 things line up for me, that if one of those 8 things didn't come through, I wouldn't be doing this. I probably wouldn't even be doing this. Maybe I would, but maybe, if you're off by a month, who knows who I would have met and who would have been my inspiration at the time. Something could have changed. I could be doing, I can't say that. I would be like Open Minds or something, where maybe I would accept hoaxes into my life just because they got me views. Oh shit, it's time to go. Third phase of Moon, let's go. Over there right now, the premiere is starting. Good night, everybody. Hope you have a great day. I'm ending. Here it is. All right. Good night, everybody. Where is it playing? I don't see where it's playing. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, super chatters. We're not watching it here. Thank you, newcomers and veterans. We'll see you tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, right here on Goof On. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Mr. D.B. Cooper.